incorrect there. Let me put on a little bit of ambiance.
Hey guys, not to interrupt or anything, but like one more sub or 100 more bits, and we'll have a hype train.
Hype train? I don't know if I've ever had a hype train in my life. It's not important.
Oh.
We have to do introductions now because that's what we do. Why is this happening? Ugh, hydrates. Fine.
Because
I do need a hydrate.
Because it's us. Oh, fine.
I just hydrated.
Be aware, some of us have alcohol, and we might hydrate with alcohol too. So, okay, Punk.
Oh,
God damn it, Will.
God.
Damn it, Punk. Curse you and your
There he
wonderful
goes.
face. I hope work is going. Well.
Woo.
Bunch of subs gifted. You demand. And are totally, absolutely
Oh my
not
God.
going to be a special guest star later.
We're a level
Oh,
3
no.
boost train.
God.
Trade.
Oh, that's right. They hold the whole new boost train thing.
I don't even know how this works. This is some weird
Ah.
Twitch stuff happening here. I don't know.
Boost.
But also, for realsies, hello. Welcome to my silly D&D game. I'm Raytog. I decided to make D&D Galactic. It's this bizarre mashup of your typical D&D game, but smashing like Star Wars, Borderlands, Destiny, and probably Guardians of the Galaxy. It's weird.
Orcs in space.
By the way,
Yeah.
Chris, snuggle butts.
You haven't even seen any Orcs in Space yet. But you're
no.
probably right. You probably will.
Which is weird for a Raytog game.
You got goblins. What is... Hello there. That's the weirdest thing, Matt. It's the weirdest thing. So, yeah, we had our episode 1 2 weeks ago, and then I had a cover for someone on vacation, so we skipped last week. Like I gotta do again next week, and then we're gonna be on a more normal schedule.
Yay, normal schedule.
Ridiculous.
Yep.
But we made it to 2. We made it to session 2.
You did.
Which is,
Yeah.
which
This
is
whole
more
game-
than most games.
This whole game
Damn
did not...
Raytog and his adulting.
The whole system in game did not crash and burn, so I count that as a success. So, I'm me. I'm running the game. It's all the weird fantasy and sci-fi things I like smashed together. And yeah, thanks, Missouri. Yeah, you're here. Why are you shouting me out? They're already here. Anyways, we're gonna start with more introductions.
Because you
We need
hired her
to.
as one of your mods.
Yeah, that was a really smart move on my part. On that note, Mizui, thank you again for joining us, because you're not necessarily feeling as great as usual. So I'm going to start with you, completely out of order. Please tell our lovely audience, who the hell are you? Who the hell are you playing? And how the hell are you doing as I do this? Does this work? It works. Yeah.
I
Cool.
am Mrs. Mizui. I am a Twitch streamer sometimes in my free time. Maybe on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Maybe on Saturdays. Currently.
It's good you should follow.
Yeah, I'm a little bit crazy, and I'm fine. I'm sick, but like, except for being a little bit tired, I don't think I'm too crazy. So yes, and I play a character named Fee, who is wonderful and lovely, and will have a different accent every time I play her, because what does that even sound like? And so here we are.
That's
That's what I'm
D&D.
doing. Also, she's perfectly okay. She's a cleric, and she's a perfectly good cleric. She's a very good person.
He's not.
Just
She
Love-
tries to be a very
Red
good
flag. Red
I
flag.
just love freaking people out.
Listen, she was so good last game. She even healed herself.
Yep, that's about standard. Okay.
That's
Okay, that's her. Moving down the road, I'm just going in character sheet order here. So I decided to pick on Mizui first, so we're going to go completely out of order. Seamus,
Oh my god.
same question. Who are you? What are you playing? And how you
I am
doing?
Seamus. I'm okay. Doing well. I wish this weather would stop snowing.
That is a
But
thing
that's
that is
all.
happening.
The personal thing, just
That
It's
is a
March.
thing that is happening.
Seamus, I'm playing Haran, a perfectly well-adjusted dwarf artificer.
Agreed.
Perfectly.
Well-adjusted.
Flag.
This is everybody is just looking at each other.
Yeah, perfectly well adjusted. Um, no, beyond that, no, I'm good. Not big of a streamer, so you don't have to follow me. I'll save you that trouble.
You can follow him here. He's
Oh,
he's on here a lot.
okay. Sure. Yeah. Well, if you played more games, I'd probably help you.
Yeah.
Shots
I
fired.
wish I could play more games. That would be
we
lovely.
We should play the new D&D game.
Which one?
Tiny
Tina's
Tina's-
magical.
Tiny Tina's
Tiny
Wonderlands.
Yeah, that's the
Believe
one.
me, that's in the pipe. I'm not 100% if I'm going to wait until that shit is on Steam or just fuck it and get it on Epic. Don't know yet. But that is
Either way.
it is on the. You can make an orc in that game. That's all I need. Done. I'm sold. I'm
There are
sold.
melee, and there are melee builds.
And there are Torg weapons. I'm sold.
Yes.
That's all I need. Bloodgear, you sir are next. Who are you? How are you? And who the fuck you playing?
I'm Bloodgear. I have a YouTube channel where I read creepy stories.
You do?
Friendly Neighborhood Bloodgear. And on Twitch, I am Bloodgear Games,
I'm gonna shut
where
you
I
up.
play creepy games and then talk about them by screaming like a tiny, tiny girl.
Elden Ring lately, it looks like.
Yeah, I need the past 2 weeks I haven't been on. Sorry, everybody, but that's like life.
Hey, me too, man.
So, I'm playing Kuroda Tatsumasa, the blue dragonborn samurai. I mean, space dragon samurais. What more could you want, right? So, he's out in the universe trying to make a name for himself, and trying not to.
Absolutely no red flags there either.
Yeah.
Now,
None.
Totally
That-
normal.
by any means necessary.
Samurai.
very samurai-like. Yeah.
Yeah, you know. On the
Fan.
backs of everybody else.
Woof! Whoa! Those are real shots fired.
So come in. Tune in today and find out what silly things my Dragonborn does.
That's
Next time on Dragon
Dragon
Ball
Ball.
Z.
fuck.
Dragon, rock, dragon. Hey, you wanted us here. You wanted us here.
You
I
knew what
did.
this was.
I did. Wonderful wife, save me. Who are you? Tell them who you are and who you're playing.
I'm sorry, but healing is not my forte here.
Fantastic.
I am Tia, or Jen. Don't really have a social media presence, although you will see me occasionally on some of Raytog streams, playing games. And I will be playing Yasana, the question mark warlock.
Yes.
You'll see.
Not
You'll-
red flags.
you'll
Nobody
see.
has.
No
Nobody
red
has
flags.
flags
Perfectly
here.
normal.
It's fine. I'm sure it's
Red
fine.
Everybody
flags.
goes through a warlock phase in college.
It's honestly
It's pretty good.
Everybody loves a good tentacle every now and then.
Hey, look, Missouri, I'm good.
What's a bad dragon?
Oh, you passed. Good job.
I did. I needed a death saving throw. That's fair. All right. So we're spinning around to the other side of the list. That puts us at the top of the alphabet. So that means Sir Harambe. Who-
Sir Harambe. When
Sir.
did you get knighted?
I don't know.
It's news to me.
How's it going, buddy?
Well, it's going pretty good. I had a nice burger and some mashed potatoes for dinner, so that was really nice.
That is nice.
After a nap too. It was
Naps are the
Naps-
best.
Naps are best.
I haven't had a
Uh,
nap
How
in
do you know we're
9
all
years.
30?
I wish I was 30. Shut up.
Man,
Or-
30 seems so
and
far
above.
away.
This gray hair happened at some point during COVID. I put a mask on, and then when I took it back off, this was here.
Yeah, same.
I'm Bruce Demon Rage, otherwise known as Harambe. You can find me on Twitch. I really am trying to find the time to stream, but work has been chaotic.
Understand that.
Other than that, you can find me on Twitter. Same handle, Bruce Team Rage. There's an underscore in the middle. It's always fun to remember that. Yeah, I play Alton Goodbarrel, a nice little halfling rogue who
Very
Yeah.
nice.
he has some skeletons in the closet, I'll admit.
No red flags at all.
Not a
I'm
single
noting
one
a
in his whole
theme
party.
here.
He's wearing a red flag as a cape.
Yeah.
No cape.
No capes. Well, I
No
mean,
tips.
depends. You don't have
You
to follow
can't-
those rules.
When you try to hit on the dwarf artificer, the nervous dwarf artificer of game one,
Oh
rough.
yeah, it was beautiful.
I was
What?
just trying to be friendly.
Uh-huh,
It was
friendly.
beautiful.
Okay.
Friendly.
Your character
wink,
has no
nudge,
idea
nudge,
what
hey,
friendly
hey.
Check out my YouTube to see how wonderful that one went. Episode 1 is there. This episode will be there later. Okay, so last and absolutely not least, Matt, how you doing? Who you playing? And what's going on?
I'm Matt. You can follow me on Twitter at Matt of the H.
Matt Dicey.
I am playing a totally normal and not any weird variation on the Warforged race.
Known as Builder. And I'm totally not out here joining the Adventurers Guild for selfish reasons that will be revealed later. So don't
None of us
check
have
on
a
me.
dark past.
None.
You don't have
I
to
do
go to
not
the party
have a
at
dark
night?
past. It is bright, shiny, and happy.
You can tell what era
Rainbows and lollipops.
we grew up in as far as our fantasy characters are concerned. Oh boy.
Edgelord, 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 Edgelord.
There.
My character's a good person.
Doesn't
Okay.
mean
Your
you can't
character's a
still
good
be an
person.
edgelord.
My
Then why do
character,
I laugh every time you say that?
my character is legitimately a good person.
Hey, you
My
pulled a
character
bomb
tries.
out in a bar.
And it wasn't working. It was not functional.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right.
Finish up your drink with some light terrorism.
You're not wrong. Okay. So that's everybody. We're all edgelords here. Thank you, Rachie. So this is the portion of the show where I usually read my little intro paragraph to get us back into the nonsense, because that's all this is going to wind up being.
Is
So-
that from Goblin's Lair?
I don't know what you're talking about. That has no bearing this way or the other.
Whatsoever.
No, it has nothing to do with being in Near Adventurers
It's
Guild.
Overlord, actually.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Oh yeah.
the character in the back, by
Yeah.
the door.
Mm.
I have a wide variety of tastes. Anyways,
Good anime
Same.
though.
the intro paragraph goes as thus. I'm really gonna have to tone this shit down. This is bright nonsense.
Very, very
You
great.
are
That's
pasty,
better.
honey.
I am very pasty. So
Shockingly so.
the introductions usually aren't
all.
this difficult. 6 individuals from across the solar system wound up on the same train, bound for the Adventurers Guild after getting the offer to join. As of yet, the reasons for doing so are quite unknown. Some teams come together through friendship or shared ideals, and ours came together by being mugged on the train by goblins. And it didn't go the way the goblins figured it would either.
Daily commute.
After being thoroughly stomped by our cast of 6, it became evident that this wasn't just a mugging on the subway going on, it was a full-blown train robbery. Despite the 80% casualty rate, which is actually below the average for those goblins, they managed to escape with a crate of experimental energy cells, and upon interrogation, their crony, gave up the name of his boss, a goblin pirate named Captain Gunn, whatever that is. And that's where we left our crew, just having met in blood, conflict, frustrations, Mostly without, so far, even really learning each other's names.
Some people just didn't want to talk, okay? It was rude.
Some people just didn't want to talk.
They were rude.
I'm going to go over to the leader and grab that little electric thing that he had in his hands.
I knew you would remember.
Is
Is that going? That is going. Yay, train sounds.
Yay, Trace.
I got stuff.
Yay.
Okay, so the train is still booking it, and you guys have basically just finished this this conflict here. And the if I remember correctly, Builder had one of the poor, like, soul surviving Gobbo. Not soul, there was another one KO'd.
Two.
That's right.
Yes.
Hanging upside down.
You saved 2. So, what do you guys do?
If I remember right, we tied them both up, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay. I say we dangle them outside and ask questions.
Again?
No. We already did that. No.
There's always room for some more Batmaning.
Where are the other drugs going?
Where are the drugs?
I go to grab the item.
The little box that he's got.
The box with the electricity thing.
You go to pick it up, and it's like, so it looks like almost akin to one of those dead man switches. It's got little electrical panel arcs on it, and it is also attached to, like, this kind of, like, power pack that he has under his little cloak via a cord that doesn't look like it was actually made to detach. So to remove this, you would actually need to, like, completely either strip the backpack off the goblin or, like, cut the cord or something like that.
Okay. I will strip the backpack off of the goblin then.
Okay. You have
I will.
in your inventory what we'll just call a goblin power pack parentheses completely innocent.
Okay. Fantastic.
We're all gonna die.
That device is severely unstable.
You don't
Don't worry.
even
Don't worry.
need a check to know that's true.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I can fix it.
But
I
do we
can make
want
it
to fix
stable.
Is there any fixing goblin tech?
You just have to know how to work with it. It's rudimentary yet complicated at the same time. The level of stupidity is great. So
Hence
you
the explosions.
yeah. So you have to basically make it more complex, and then you can make it stabler, and then it'll be fine. I got this.
So all you have to do is make it not what it is.
Yes. Kinda. So, it will still be what it is. It will just be safer to have.
3 parts.
Wouldn't it be easier to start from scratch?
No. The parts are here.
I disagree.
Okay.
You guys, I'm still, like, right
appreciate-
here, okay? And he's still dangling by the foot from Builder's hand.
No
Tech
one's
is
talking
bad
to
and you
you.
should feel bad.
Oh. And he just goes, oh, and is quiet again.
I'll set you down.
Okay. So he just, like, sits down. His weapons are, like, just scattered off on the floor, like, far away from him. And he doesn't even look like he's even interested in retrieving them. He just, like, gets laid down on the floor and just kind of, like, moves to a sitting position, just sits there like he's a kid in front of, like, a box of toys or something.
Speaking of box of toys, I'm going to take the backpack and the detonator and take it off to one side and attempt to make it currently inert so it won't blow up.
Okay.
We should probably move people to the next cart over in case this one blows up.
Okay. Let me
I
figure
mean, I'll
out.
take this. I'll take this to the other cart.
I think that's a wise decision. That way, if he blows up, the main transportation car is still moving, and we can all reach the destination at the preferred
Okay.
time.
I will take-
That's fair.
Okay, I'll go. It's fine. I got this. Ah.
Okay.
I
so,
believe in you, buddy.
Since we're not actually
what?
doing a battle map at this point, we're just going to move here to this map.
I honestly believe that at one point that dwarf is going to kill us all.
So
He's going to try.
I will not. I want to help.
okay. So Haran, you move to the next car away
Uh-huh.
from them, and you sit down and like try and tinker with this. You said you are attempting to make this device inert.
I don't want it to randomly explode.
That is a goblin tech feature, not a bug. So what I'm going to need you to do, because of the way this is set up, I will need you to go down to your proficiencies on your character sheet and roll
Yes.
the Smith's tools. A check with their tools.
Eh,
And just see how that goes.
uh,
You should just have to click on it if...
use as a resource. And equipped.
It'll be on the left side under where it says your passive perception.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, that is above the DC to make it detonate. Good Jorb.
Good job, everyone.
Good Jorb. So you fuck around with this thing for a little while, and it's just like you would expect from Goblin Tech. It is at the same time both really, really simplistic and more complex than it probably should be. Like a lot more.
Mhm.
Like the circuits loop like an additional 3 times more than are even necessary. It looks like they just did it for fun. It doesn't make sense, but you figure out how to deal with it enough to essentially disconnect the battery.
Fantastic.
It's you feel like it's very similar to disarming a bomb. It does come down to the point
Yeah.
where is it the blue wire or the blue wire? Why are they all blue? Because goblins.
I thought it'd be red because it would glow up faster.
Yeah, it's
What if blue is their favorite color?
So,
you don't know.
in theory, we could still have that thing explode, right?
Did
Just-
you come into the back train?
Now, are you guys just talking about him in the previous train?
Okay.
I think
That's
I
fine.
think I kept my distance, and I'm asking the rest of us, the rest of the group.
Okay.
In theory, we could make that thing explode. That thing could still explode, right?
In
Very-
theory, most things can explode.
Exactly. The words from my lips.
I'm gonna
So-
need this.
If we could keep that pack around, and we need a daring escape, I say we keep it for just
There's
such a
not
moment.
enough time on this train to explain to you all the reasons you should not have a Goblin Tech bomb with you.
I agree with the blue scaled one.
Oh, what's life without a little adventure?
A long one.
A life.
Oh, come on. I had to blow up my old ship just to get a bunch of crazy jack wagons off my back. I'd like to point out I am not afraid to blow up a wall to make a hasty exit.
Then you are not qualified to be the pilot.
Especially in space.
Who said I was the pilot? I was the captain of the ship, thank you very much.
Very good.
A ship that no longer exists. A point in their favor.
It's going
Little
swimmingly already.
goblin.
It's me now? Okay, yes?
I have to ask, in the face of so much adversity, why did you keep fighting?
I don't know, it was kind of fun.
So the thrill of battle motivated you.
That's the bunch of big words strung together in like all fancy sentences and stuff, but
I understand now. It was stupidity. That's all I needed. Thank you.
oh, you're welcome. He just sits and like leans back against the wall again and stops paying attention.
I actually do have a question for the goblins.
Okay. I mean, there's the one that is up in right next to you, and there's the one back. Ironically, the one Haran made sure was still alive is back in the train car behind.
No, I pulled him into the other
Oh,
one.
they're all together now? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
What are
He's unconscious. The one is.
Okay. There's one that is awake.
What is your name, little goblin?
My name's Jim.
Jim.
Yeah.
All right, Jim. I suppose we should hand you over to the proper authorities.
What's that?
Don't
You're
worry
going
about
to
it.
jail, little one.
He looks confused at that.
Don't worry about who the proper authorities are. Just know we're not going to kill you. Unless you try to kill us again. In which case, we'll have no choice.
He looks off to the side almost dramatically and kind of narrows his eyes as if he's weighing whether or not that would be worth it. If the sheer random joy would be worth it or not. And then somewhere along the lines, it looks like he forgot, and then he just stopped paying attention again. You guys got any food at least? And he starts to get up and just kind of like tries to move past and like rummage around.
Should we look for some chocolate bars or something? What do goblins eat? Normal food? Trash?
Why
Chocolate?
are we? Why are
But
we
now
even
they
feeding them?
eat nothing.
Well, considering we just slaughtered most of their friends, I mean,
For a
he's
good
not-
reason.
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to argue that it wasn't for a good reason.
He
just
like
saying.
waddles over to one of the dead goblins and doesn't even seem to like it doesn't even seem to strike him that is one of his own that has fallen and like died in front of him, and just like casually like goes through his pack and pulls out something and starts to like chew on it.
All right, he's
Anyone who looks too close notices it may or may not be a human ear.
Well, that answers the question as to what goblins eat.
Former Captain, I don't know that it's worth it to take this creature or these creatures, with that one being alive, to the authorities. I think that would be wasting their time.
You raise a good point. Let's keep them as pets.
No.
What?
No.
Oh.
But he just wants to. He just needs new friends. We can always use a swabby.
What's a swabby?
They swab the poop deck.
That sounds like it smells really bad.
Oh no, it's a euphemism.
You guys are
Never
using
find
all
any
this
reason to keep a
big
hamster
words.
around that had the ability to make bombs.
Hey, if we convince Jim here to help us and work with us and give him purpose, well, we could have, fun.
These life forms are like cockroaches. They only multiply and consume space. They're not
Space is
worth it.
delicious. He says as he chews on a human ear.
We
Eldritch
could have an
Blast.
army of goblins. What?
Eldritch Blast.
Thank you. Thank you.
Was it what is happening now? Is there an attack that is happening?
Mm. Want to cast a fucking spell at him. I want to kill it.
The goblin?
He is now Jim
Yes.
Dust.
Cat with a 9? I don't think so.
So technically that it's almost like fate is literally conspiring against you. There's like a quiet and like all of a sudden there's this noise of spell casting and this spell blast goes off and it like hits the floor next to the goblin or next to Jim and his buddy kind of like bounces around a little bit, ragdolls from the blast, and he just looks at the floor where the thing hit, looks at the goblin that bounced around, and he just starts going in through his pockets again, looking for more food.
Well, that was uncalled for. He's harmless to us.
They are pests.
Where were you in the last 10 minutes?
Well, he's harmless now.
4 now.
Yeah, and he could continue to be harmless if we're kind to him. They may be like cockroaches, as the big robot put it, but
The Sigma designated creatures serve very little purpose.
they still serve a purpose, right?
As garbage cleaners,
Which is better than nothing.
Wait a minute, you guys got garbage you didn't tell me about?
Cleaners. Little goblin, there is garbage out of that door. When it opens, please leave and consume it.
No.
While you guys are having this, I guess we would call it a debate. A very lively debate that may or may not contain murderous tendencies. Because alignment is fun, kids. You did see, as you were going on the train, the sight of what you had come here for in the first place. You did see out the window as the neon lights in the skyscraper started to peel away. You did see the exterior of the Adventurers Guild. It's as you're going on this overpass and on a turn. You have to go past the actual structure to get to the train station that will get you there. But you can see it and you know that you are close to your destination after all. It isn't much longer before the train will probably stop.
For clarification, Sigma 53575, I meant when the vehicle stops, leave through the door. Don't jump now.
Or do. We're not your mother.
No, I'm gonna come back in after this one. I got it. We're good.
I knew you could do it, buddy. You
While these things go on.
Okay.
No offense, but I don't need you to blow me. Fillet me. Fill me with hot air. Yeah.
This is beautiful. I love everything about this.
all right. I suppose not where I was going with that, but I had every faith you could disarm that. Now, I have a question for you. Could it be
Who, me?
reactivated? Yes, you, Haran. Haran. Could it be reactivated?
Yeah.
Okay, I want
Don't
it.
give the halfling the
No.
bomb.
It's mine. I can make sure it's functional properly. No offense, but no.
All right.
To be clear, the size of this isn't insignificant, right? It was a full-blown, about the size of a backpack for a goblin, which is a small-sized creature. As a dwarf, you are a medium-sized creature, so it's like... It would be like a very small backpack for you, almost the size of like what would be a good reference?
Small backpack. Yeah, I got
just a general small backpack, but with like a 3-foot long
Yeah.
cord
it.
coming
Yeah,
off
one
of
of the little
it.
tiny backpacks. Yeah, I got it.
These little Hello Kitty things
Yeah, I got it.
that may or may not detonate.
Yeah. Do you mean that my wife may or may not has? Yeah.
But yes, so it's not small, and it would be kind of hard to disguise the fact that you were wearing it, unless you like put it under like a cloak or something like that, and then you'd look like a little bit of a hunchback.
I'm not gonna wear it. Fuck that. It's a ball.
Man, I don't know how any of this is gonna go. Okay.
I'm just saying we could use it for a quick escape if need be.
Why would you use an explosion for escape?
Distraction, and to make a hole in a wall somewhere.
Well, like, I'm big on using technology, but ooh, you were dumb about it. You want to blow a hole in a wall that creates structural that weakens the structural integrity. Close upon yourself. That sounds really bad. I would rethink that whole entire strategy.
Or at least
So-
promise you'll do it when we're not around.
Yeah, or that.
I never said I wasn't going to buy all of you time with it. I just said it was good for a quick escape.
Okay, let's formulate a thing here. You
Wow, the
create
train doors.
you create your
They
own
do.
bomb.
Yes, I'm out.
Tatsumasa steps out.
There's a very
We're done
heavy
here.
debate on what should or should not be done with the bomb, which seems like a very strange conversation to have on a train. And now that you think about it, there is another person in this room who was the conductor who didn't seem like he was completely on board with this conversation to begin with. But he hasn't said anything. He just has been looking back and forth between basically like Fee and like Isana. Like, is this not even wordy? But the doors do open, and the scene that you see before you is a generic train station. There are not that many people. This is actually a pretty barren tree thing now, except for, of course, the noted there's a few like speeders out there with blinking red and blue lights, almost like the cops have been alerted to this nonsense already.
Builder exits the train and begins to make his way towards the Adventurers Guild where he was headed.
Ironically, at the same time as Builder steps off, the goblin just waddles off with you like he was instructed to. He's muttering something like, I think I'm going to go by Sigma now. That makes it sound cool.
Sigma is a designation.
Yeah, it's like a name, right?
535.
I ain't going to remember all that, man.
Got it. Unfortunately, I'm having trouble with it myself.
The robot got a puppy.
Well, let's carry the other unconscious goblin off the train.
In almost a swear to God, this doesn't happen in all of my games. In almost a like semicircle, there are uniformed individuals like approaching the opening of the train now. It looks like there are definitely police forces moving up to deal with whatever went on with this incident. Specifically, like holding a hand up for Builder to stop if he doesn't look like he's gonna stop. And like I want to say there's probably about 5 officers looking like. And
How can I assist you?
so first, there's a couple of things that you notice. There are several what look like they're just like Crucifix City cops, right? Like 5 out of the 6 just have the normal. You've seen individuals around the city like this before. It's very town guard-esque armor, just like normal grays, a little bit of green to kind of go with like the flag of the planet and everything. You do, however, see another individual that because I made things. Another individual, it is a kind of tall elven woman wearing lots of blue. Specifically blue, a long cloak. Does have a weapon drawn, but not like it's just like holding it, but not like about to attack or anything. This would be boop. This lady here. Name
Oh,
is on badge on the front, and the badge you see is a bit different than your typical Crucifix City cops. Basically, all of you would know that this is what is called a steward. Even Builder, this would be in the things that he would have picked up.
Okay.
Stewards, as I go and crack open another thing, of this particular badge right there, are kind of like, I want to say, think of it like the feds. There's sort of a peacekeeping force that is akin to like Jedi in theme and stuff like that. They don't really, they're not local cops, but they're kind of overall for the system, making sure everything is like kept in line, all the pieces kept. They're not really a military force, but they're definitely peacekeepers in the same way Jedi would be considered peacekeepers. Kitty! Big fluffy kitty! I'm sorry, I'm distracted very easily. That's a big fluffy kitty.
I believe they call that.
Designation Steward Officer Exxon. How may I assist you this evening?
She walks up to you and gives you a little bit of a once over, like, all right, that's how we're going to play it. Well, it seems that there's been an incident on this train. Yes,
Correct.
we're here to investigate. I would like to know what you know, and is this goblin with you?
No, the goblin was one of the party that raided the train. They made away with an experimental power cell device that was on its way to the Adventurers Guild. Unfortunately, according to the conductor, there were no tracking implements placed on this experimental power cell, so there is no way that I am aware of how to track it. Any further information probably could be found with the Adventurers Guild. This goblin here could also be questioned, but his intelligence is so low I do not feel that it would warrant it.
No, I don't even know these people. All right? I don't know him.
No, he does not.
And the goblin attempts to like just like kind of walk away, and one of the cops just sort of like half leans.
Kuroda grabs him by the scruff, just
oh. He just picked up like a cat. He just gives up just like a cat do. He just kind of like slumps and just accepts it. I'm very distracted by your cat. I'm sorry. This is a wonderful cat.
I'll put him away.
No, he's wonderful.
Say goodbye, Koshik.
Bye bye, kitty. Oh man, cats. That's my purse. I don't know you. I love this chat.
Alton carries the unconscious goblin out, and as he sees the officers and the steward officer, is the steward officer a lady or
Yes.
a man?
It looks to be a when you walk up, like looks kind of like elven lady, but then you get closer and you note that probably closer to half elven. Elves usually have, unlike your Lord of the Rings elves, these are kind of like actual fantasy elves that lean closer to the Fae. Much like Fee here, who has like one solid color as an eye, even though her eyes are kind of weird. Full elves usually don't like have pupils or irises or whatever. They just have like one color going on. This one has human-ish eyes, so probably a half elf, although half elves are one of the more populous races in the system behind humans. So probably half elf lady.
Okay. Alton walks up while carrying the goblin and says, well, what can I do for you?
Wait.
She looks down, suddenly realizes she's very tall as you approach. Easy, like 6 foot elf lady. They're built thin but tall. This one's in full plate. She looks down, kind of crooks an eyebrow and is like, well, that depends. How much do you know about what happened on this train?
Let's see. We were all on the train heading to the Adventurers Guild. Got attacked by goblins. They made off with some experimental tech of some kind. And there's 2 goblin survivors that might not be able to tell you much.
I'm sorry, we're going to have to go into how exactly did these little fellows make off with a huge box of experimental
Somebody gave
power
them a
ships?
rocket.
They had a rocket.
Yes, a very shite rocket at that. Poor ship indeed. And
There's
well,
an eye roll there, and she pulls out the equivalent of like an old police pad, like starts typing on
and
it.
You may want to call in a cleaning crew. I don't know what kind of diseases they have, but they're all over the inside of that train.
She
Additionally, they were led by a more advanced goblinoid. They also mentioned some other master, and the dwarf back there commandeered an explosive device from them. So if you have an explosive disposal team, you may want to get them on it.
Rude.
I was just saying we could use it to blow a hole in a wall for an escape, but that's a story for another
There will
time.
be no
Please
blowing holes in
stop
walls
suggesting
right
that.
now. Okay.
Okay.
Let me get this straight. You 6. You are bound for the guild, yes? These recruits I read. Yes?
Aye, that's
Correct.
correct.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to need names and registrations for all of this. We might need to be contacting you at some point. We need to try and avoid any international incidents, as it were.
Build her hands over everything immediately.
And starts. There's not really a lot to do. You like flash your ID, and that little pad thing that she has, it kind of like points towards your ID. A little blue scanner goes over it for like a half a second, and it looks like she has what she needs. This is repeated for all of you if you willingly give that.
I dropped a goblin and willingly give it.
Oh, he's dropped. Poor Jim.
I just kind of hand Jim over to the nice federal lady. Just
And she does like clamp a hand on his shoulder, and he's like, "Oh shit!" Like really quiet.
it indeed.
As she's doing it, I'm going to have to ask you to probably keep most of what has happened here under wraps. When the media catches wind of there's a goblin attack anywhere, it's bound to drum up anti-Thrak sentiment, and we don't want to cause an incident. We've already had enough trouble lately. I'm sure you know what I mean. And she starts going through and like cataloging stuff. The rest of the police force has already like gone onto the train and is like, there's one of the guards is like standing outside and like forming a perimeter sort of thing, and the others have gone in. Well, looks like one is interviewing the conductor of the train.
I can keep a secret well enough. Wouldn't want any incidents to crop up from this occurrence.
Am I going to have to keep my eye on you?
Absolutely not.
It
Yes.
would be the safe bet.
You see her not even look at her screen and just kind of like flick something. Is probably flagging a name. You don't know, but you get an idea.
You know what? Actually, I would like to try and roll deception to see if she believes me on that one.
You can certainly try.
I would take his name down.
Alright. Alright. Shit. Some things are not meant for player eyes. Hold up. Dig through the Crown Royal bag. Where's the good one?
Classic
Oh,
staple.
no.
Where's the good one? Where are you?
Everybody has a bag of Crown Royal dice.
That's true. So you know.
I do not, actually.
Why not?
Math rock.
I have Ninja Sex Party dice.
I mean, that's also fine.
I have a bag of holding bag of dice.
Okay. She kind of like crooks an eyebrow at you again. You think there's like a little bit of a smile there, but she's playing it really cool. Playing it really cool. Yeah, chat loves you right now. So round about that time, she's kind of smirking at you. You're all like kind of crowded together on the
Sorry, I read chat.
yeah, chats. Things are happening in chat. Everybody's crowded around here, basically just talking with the steward. She's going over simple things like, now we might need to contact you in case anything happened. Here's like where the steward's offices are in the city. Here's this or that. And there is a sound that is easily picked up by most of you. That is, there's a ship, like a small kind of speeder sort of thing that lands further on down the little pier here. And it is notably a very jagged black and red looking ship. Not very friendly on purpose. And you see Axon turn, regard it. Once again, her eyes roll and just, oh, gods. Great. Don't worry, I'll handle this. And starts moving around you as the door of that little ship opens, and something in full plate approaches you. Those who are in my previous games would probably get the idea. For this one, I will show you what you are encountering, and then those who care will probably need history checks to know this. So Axon walks up to a scary-looking individual in full plate. Look a lot like that.
Fuck me.
Oh.
Red
As
flag?
Yeah, as this vehicle lands,
Mm-hmm.
she begins to do her best, kind of go unnoticed. Not necessarily hide, but really just kind of blend in and become
What you're saying is you're hiding behind the robot and the Dragonborn, the tall people?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I'm the dwarf. That'll work.
Yasana's
So-
pretty much doing the same.
Those who are attempting to be social stealthy, I'm actually going to need stealth checks.
Shit.
We'll see what
I'm
happens.
gonna also,
I mean, you guys are just standing in a
Sure.
circle. This is not like you are unseen. This is like you're trying to not draw attention to yourself.
very much, Assassin's Creed blend into the monks.
Just in the crowd. Uh-huh.
I'm just okay, yeah.
We got dice going. Okay.
Oof.
Things are happening. That's fair. So this individual kind of walks up to the steward, who takes like 2 seconds to be like, "It's okay, we have this under control. You don't necessarily have jurisdiction here." And the voice, it doesn't quite hit Builder's level of like ominous, like distorted robot sound, but it is definitely a deep, growly voice that says, "We have jurisdiction everywhere," and walks around the federal agent and starts approaching towards you guys. Those of you who care to, hit me with history checks, because it's possible that not all of you would know this. If any of you were from a certain place, so that's advantage, but you have the same roll, that's fine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we got some things. So that would be Builder for sure, Tatsu for sure. It was 13, so Fee and Haran are the only people that don't really know this on sight. So there's another breed of police officer in the system, as it were, that is not necessarily the type that you would like to be caught by. You saw the badge on the previous on the steward. It's this like blue shield with like nice wings and everything. Very peacekeepy, very not oppressive. This is the opposite of that. Alton, specifically, sir, you know exactly what this is. This is what is referred to as a Hell Knight with that badge. So, the principle behind this in this world is the Hell Knights are started off on Teneron. That's fair.
I have proficiency in it, so
there you go.
cool.
Which is the planet that is actually linked to Hell. This is the best way to give this to you in short terms. This is Judge Dredd walking towards you. Their premise was based upon how you have, like demons, which are chaotic evil, and you have devils that are lawful evil from hell. This order was based on the lawful part. The perfect, orderly structure of hell. They don't care about good or evil, period. If you are guilty of something, they will find you and they will punish you. They will bring order to the galaxy if they have to choke the fuck out of it, sort of thing. Torturing people, torturing people to find out information to solve a case. Not even a discussion about whether it's right or wrong. Justice will be done, sort of nonsense. Fee, abusingly, you don't know any of that, and this
For some reason.
and you haven't had to deal with it, which is fair.
Mm-hmm.
Although, unfortunately, it does look a lot like something else you might know, and there might be some confusion going on right now, which is also just fine. He does have one arm bear, though, and it is probably, if it's not what you think it is, it might be something else. That is definitely a wounded arm. There's a chain thing going on there. So this Hell Knight rolls up to you. Full plate. Loud steps. The goblin, who is back with you guys, sitting next to one of the cops, starts to get a little nervous at his approach.
Designation Hell Knight Hunter Valis. How can we assist you today?
He stops, just kind of tilts his helmet towards you, gives you like a quick once-over, doesn't say anything for like that creepy 2 to 3 seconds that is the assessing period a lot of these biologics like to do for intimidation. And then starts to look around towards the rest of the group. You were the ones who slew these bandits?
Correct.
He kind of narrows his eyes a little bit behind the helmet. You can't really see a whole lot except his eyes. They're like... They'll remind you a little bit, player-wise, of like, if you looked at like Darth Maul's eye. It's like this bloodshot thing with the iris that's like this weird yellow color. He just says, "Wait here," and he turns away from you, goes into the train, towards where there's like goblin bodies strewn everywhere. There's a few moments where you hear some commotions from the cops. Action, the good cop of the good cop, bad cop pair that is happening right now, comes back and just goes, "I'm sorry, he can be so severe. I hate working with this man. You don't understand how..." And at that point, the Hell Knight walks back out of the train, dragging the leader goblin by his foot, so his little football-shaped head is like bouncing against the floor as he goes. And he gives you all a once-over again and goes, "Who is the leader of this little troop?"
You would have to address yourself to the Adventurers Guild, I believe. We're
I mean,
not really...
you six. Who calls
We are
themselves...
not together. We have no leader. We are individuals.
We kind of just met. And Alton gives him a very, very angry scowl. Have some respect for the dead, mate.
The Hell Knight turns and looks down at you. And you think for a second he's going to like rebuke you, or he's got like absolute rage in his eyes of being spoken to that way. But then there's a moment where he pauses. He tilts his head to the side. "Do I know you?"
Tatsumosa just takes kind of a slight step away from him. Just...
Yeah, I move away.
Absolutely got his back, boys. That's right.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Builder is actually going to move to kind of get the Hell Knight's attention again.
We're gonna say no, you don't know me, and can I roll deception? Because I feel like he knows me somehow.
Here's the deal. I need both because you're doing this. Instead of doing this with advantage, I'm going to have both Alton and Builder roll deception checks. Instead of just one roll at advantage, I'm going to have both of you roll one die. See if this works.
Oh, my deception, my guy.
Uh-huh. You're helping.
Bad news!
You're helping. You're helping.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh! The fuck is that? I rolled a 19.
You did. What the fuck? Okay.
That's my best roll of the night. Enjoy it.
But Alton rolled a 9.
That was almost a 1.
You, the ex-pirate, suddenly realize that talking shit up to a Hell Knight that eats pirates for breakfast and then smears their brains across the floor might not have been the greatest move. But there's this big robot that is trying to
I
get...
reiterate to you, Hell Knight Hunter Valis, we are individuals. None of us have met you before.
He does disengage from Alton. Good job. And turns to, like, again, square up to Builder as if there was about to be a fight. And then just says, "Good. Then you can work this out together." And he puts a satchel in Builder's hand. There's a bounty for pirates. Kill any you find. And he turns and walks away from you. And in your little hand, you see you have 8 gold that he probably ripped off the corpses of the goblins.
Builder will turn to Officer Axon.
This 8 gold should cover the cleanup costs. I have places to be.
And
As
Builder
you... Okay.
tries to leave to go
Okay.
to the Adventurers Guild.
That
As
is
you,
Tatsumasa.
as you do that, Valis just, like, leaves. He goes. And Axon takes a minute, and she's just like, Oh God, this is going to be another incident. Yes, that's fine. I have your information. Just oh God, thank you. Right.
I hurry away to the Venturers Guild before anything is said about the
Be
other object I'm
careful and
carrying.
please try not to kill any more random creatures you find. I don't care what he says. Oh, I have to file so much paperwork. And she actually turns away from those who remain to deal with poor Jim, who got left behind in custody.
Jim, no.
Former Captain, you would be wise to not engage with them anymore. Next time, we might not be there to distract.
I appreciate the save, mate. I didn't get your name.
My designation is Builder.
Fitting.
voice chat and in the game. So, yeah, getting back into it is a struggle. But you guys are walking in the open street. I want to say it's pretty late-ish in the night. I want to say we're somewhere around, it's definitely after 9 going on 10 p.m. The dark is sufficiently kind of sunken in. The street lights are on and everything. And this particular junction of the city is definitely more green than the rest of this cyberpunk paradise that you guys have been in before. It's a lot more touched by nature. It feels a lot older. And as you approach, this building, the Adventurers Guild here, is definitely not unknown to you either. This is the building that has been legendary for a long time. This is has been featured in like Hollow movies and everything that you guys have kind of grown up. The ideals of heroes and adventurers is kind of like walking up and actually seeing like Avengers Tower being there. It's a little like that. You know that it's not quite like it is in the movies, but running off and having adventures and getting paid for mercenary work is absolutely a real profession that you guys may or may not finally be able to do. Looking at this, it's hard not to look at this and not feel like a little bit of hope. So you guys see this structure in front of you that is very well known. What are y'all doing?
Builder walks up to the door and attempts to go in.
Or just no, nothing, nothing,
No.
no awe.
Builder has no no preconceptions about what this is, so he does not care. They do not care.
It's fair.
Builder, haven't you ever been a kid? No.
Not wrong.
Alton is taking in the sights on the way to the front door. What I assume is one of the front doors, I guess.
Yep, there's a big main entrance. Although it looks like there's several on the sides. You could get in through any of the cardinal directions, it looks like. No matter where you come from. Now that you think about it, this is not the dead center of this city, but it's pretty close. This is kind of representative. A little subtle, purposeful implementation of the concept of all are welcome.
You see Kuroda, like, brush off his clothing and adjust it a little. You notice that it's used to be nice, but it started to get in, started to just become in tatters, just old. And he
He
enters.
will. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, now you go. Oh, that was all.
He will kind of look at Alton, since he's pretty much the only one who's shown any sort of camaraderie, and say it's both bigger and smaller than I expected.
Sure, it's bigger on the inside.
Go to your room.
Well,
Oh,
when you stand at 3 feet tall, everything tends to be a little bigger than you expect.
Was that a
You hear
was
that
that a
often?
reference to something? Because it. Are
No,
we doing phrasing?
no,
He's just a
no.
halfling.
Yeah, Alton's just a halfling, a short freaking halfling at
He's
3
just
feet
a
tall.
he's just a halfling.
I know. I know.
I assure you, when you're tall, it doesn't look any bigger.
Well, that's fine for you, Builder, but I always like taking in the sights and just enjoying that everything is surprisingly large.
Racing?
Mm,
This is gonna be a running thing for this group, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Probably.
Probably.
Innuendo.
Shit. At least chat likes it. Anyways,
How do I time out?
so you guys do make your way up to the Adventurers Guild, and Builder, who is not putting up with this inefficient sightseeing nonsense, gets to the door first, opens it up. The interior of the guild is actually pretty nice. You get to see a kind of a front desk situation that you go in the door and you kind of walk up a ramp that looks like it's a little on the steep side, but it's like one of those moving elevator ramps that is kind of like those corridors that you walk on at the airport to get all the way from one end to another. You're like on a conveyor belt, but you can still walk to. And it kind of takes you up to the top floor, and you get to see the front desk area that you can kind of see a little bit of the city over out of the out the window behind the front desk. But then you can also see on the side that is almost set up like akin to like a restaurant, where there's this nice front desk, and it looks like this is where a lot of business and like people are attended to before they can actually get into the guild. And you can see through this door off to the left side that is like some kind of solid like plexiglass looking see-through, that on the other side of it there looks like a huge like spread out big tavern that has a few patrons going around in it. You can even from here like see almost like an old-timey like board that has like a little holographic display on it that says quests and like where people can pick stuff up. And it's very much almost like the movies, just a little bit. It's just nostalgic enough that like this is a sort of Adventurers Guild thing that this is kind of what you would expect if you knew what you were looking for. Yes.
Does this technology remind me of anything that I would know?
Nothing that you would.
Does it seem more advanced than the like general tech of the era, or
this
similar?
Would probably be different from where you came from.
Okay.
But either I can't decide whether or not Builder would find this a good thing or a bad thing, but like easily parallel.
So like similar level of advancement.
It looks like they went a different way with it.
Okay.
This is not your style. It's not quite so utilitarian, inefficient, and like absolute necessity. There's some whimsy to it too. They've definitely integrated magic and spells and magical artifacts and things like that into their tech. Magic and tech developed together, as opposed to the conflict that you often see with magic versus technology. Which is better? Which way should we go? It looks like these people had magic first, and then got to the point where they got to a relative mastery of the magic, and yes, very much Magitech. And then their level of technology started to grow, and they incorporated the magic into how they built their tech. So there's it's like from somebody who has been working on like an old like IBM that did what it did very, very, very efficiently, but it didn't have a lot of like flair about it, sees the minds and ideas and concepts of several types of peoples all mushed together and then expanded and then working off of each other's. It's like the ability of this technology doesn't blow you away, but the diversity of it does.
All of this looks remarkably convoluted.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Seems right. But the tech is there. You're all in. This all looks normal to you. Most of you have seen this shit your whole life. It's touchscreens and little holographic displays and stuff like that. There's actually several of the desks like this, like in a big, like, there's probably about 5 of them with a similar window behind each. But right now, only one of them looks like it's being manned.
Kuroda gets in line.
Fortunately, because of the hour, there doesn't seem to be much of a line.
Kuroda starts a line.
Kuroda does start the line. So you walk up to the sole individual behind the desk. As I pull open more things that I have designed, hold please. There you are.
We'll always wait for brilliance.
I don't know how brilliant it's going to be. So, Kuroda, this is probably going to be the best. I'm actually kind of glad that it's you. Because the little Dragonborn is kind of new to this whole, like, getting out and about amongst all the different types of people thing.
I'm 15.
He's 15.
Ooh.
And he's bigger than all of you. Except maybe Builder. Like, you guys are actually pretty similar. It depends on whether or not the horns count. That's a debate I'll leave up to you guys. But you go up, and as you walk up, you see there's like this humanoid in a nice, like, crisp business suit. He's got like a turban-looking head covering going on. There's like an old-style like tome in front of him, and a quill. And you walk up, and this is just like business. You're going to introduce yourself. This is where you're going to make a name for yourself. And suddenly you come to the shocking realization, probably for you, this gentleman in front of you is, looks like he's seen a little bit more than you, to put it bluntly. He is definitely an undead creature manning the desk.
Ugh.
Figures they have a zombie on the night shift.
You see what I did there? See what I did there?
The one employee that they know won't fall asleep.
He kind of tiredly looks up and looks around at the lot of you and you coming. He goes, "Oh, hello. How can I be helping you today?"
Greetings. I am Kuroda Tatsumasa of House Kuroda. I've come to sign up for the Adventurers Guild. And he pulls out, and he goes into his robe, and he pulls out a scroll, and
like
he
like actual paper scroll
to show his lineage. Yes, he thinks this is way more formal than it actually is.
The man behind the desk, look kind of big eyes, and like the scroll gets unrolled, and he goes watches it go across his desk, adjusts his little ink quill a little bit. I see. Do you have? Wait a minute. Do you have the invitation with you?
And he pulls out
Okay.
the card and hands it to him.
You guys are the next batch, aren't you? There's this little wry smile on his face.
Dude, red flag.
I'm going to say Haran is not near any of these people. He is just investigating all of the tech everywhere else.
the short version for you is it's just like a normal, like, uplifted. There's just general tech everywhere. There's just holographic displays that are like listing. There's actually a bunch of shit going on if you really want to nerd out and get into that stuff. Because there's like little scrolling text of like adventurer guild rankings and like.
Oh, he doesn't care about that. He wants to investigate the tech itself.
Oh, if you try and you give a quick once over and you realize in a situation that is this formal, you would probably set off an alarm if you investigated it the way you wanted to. As soon as you start pulling at the screws, something's probably going to go off. But the undead person closes his book in front of you. He goes, well, I am very glad to meet you. I'm very glad to meet all of you. I am Eshka.
Hello.
And I believe I will be showing you around today. Have all of you come to join the guild? Is this why you are here?
That is correct.
I will need to be seeing everybody's invitations, but after that, then we can move forward.
Fee just holds out her
We
hand.
Dallas multipass.
Multipass!
Thoroughly embarrassed, you see the Dragonborn kind of fumble with the scroll, trying to roll it back up.
Eshka actually goes out of his way to like help you a little bit because it was across his desk. He goes through each one of you, checking the letter and the ID verification that you are in fact the person that the invitation was supposed to go to in the first place. There's a whole very brief security check with that. And he seems to be, perhaps red flag, but he seems to be very jolly about this whole situation. He seems to be very glad to see you all. And, yes.
You said the new batch. How is the previous one faring?
Well, that is to say, it seems that not everybody who would like to become an adventurer has the, how would you put it? The stones to actually become one. It is not an easy feat. It is not as simple as walking into the movie theater and saying that you are a hero.
What stones are required to join the Adventurers Guild?
Oh, my fine friend. I'm sure we will find out soon enough.
Damn
I love this guy.
That gives me a lot of confidence.
It should.
False
This is going
confidence,
to be a lot of fun, I promise you. And he takes the ID of the last one. We're just saying it'll be a fee for the fun of it. Verifies it, kind of checks it twice, and then shrugs and kind of nods.
She gives a little curtsy, like hand out and everything, you know, like as to lift a skirt, clearly much more comfortable in her.
Isn't there?
Yeah, the skirt that's not there. Yeah, no, it's very much a practice curtsy, and there's no skirt, but she just, manages anyway.
Instantly, like Eshka goes, like smooths down the front of his suit and puts a hand out, like bows very formally, nails it. Every little bit of it is got the poise. His suit's kind of ratty. You do see a little bit of like the bandages coming out from under the suit, but the suit is well kept. Where he just looks very dry. That's the rest of him just looks very dry.
Especially his wit.
Well, if you are to be the new group, I should be showing you around, and I must thank you. I have been at this desk doling out quests to people for like 9 hours now. This is very boring. Let's go take a tour. This will be fun.
I could get behind a door.
It would be my pleasure.
Oh, it would be
Is it
my pleasure.
required?
It is absolutely required. Here. I see you are a man of efficiency. Here's how this will go. Actually, were you? I heard the commotion with the stewards outside. Was the whole train situation? Was that you on the news?
That might have been
Perhaps.
us.
And you,
Yes.
he like
It's on the
tilts.
news.
He tilts his head up. There's a TV screen up there, and there is a talking head that looks like it's a purple skinned tiefling lady with like hair off to one side, who's just a talking head news reporter. And there's like looks like there's helicopter footage of like the cops all in that semicircle around the edge of the train with you guys not in the shot anymore. Like, you got out of there fast enough?
News travels fast.
On this town, it absolutely does. This is not for giving out. This is just for my own edification. Was this you?
Yeah, it was us.
Little scuffle, right. So, exams are to be held in the morning. You will be able to rest here tonight to prepare for your exam. That way, whatever, ma'am, I see you've suffered a bit of injury. The rest will help you so that you do not have to deal with it come the trial. It is not an easy exam. All do not pass. But it would be better to be rested for it. That's why we suggest you come the night before. You are able to rest, and then wake up bright and early at your best, and become adventurers, yes?
Indeed.
Indeed. You're going to be a fun one. I know it. Come with me. And he kind of like, he's got a well-fitting suit, but he's a very like tall, like thin dude, and his arms almost give like a little bit of the cartoony, like they're a little too long, and when he like gestures to go this way, it's like almost like a scarecrow is doing it.
So Builder doesn't breathe, but you all hear a.
Activating psi audio.
It does show on the stream. Thank
It does.
goodness.
It does. I've sized it correctly. Ishka leads you all over towards that door to get into the main section. And he talks as he goes. So if you do become members of the Adventurers Guild, you will need to know the services that this building and our other guild halls give, so that you will be able to be effective in your missions that you will do for us. So, first place most people go after having a difficult adventure and a good quest complete is, and he cracks open the door, and you guys can all wander into what looks like to be a very lively and neat-looking tavern section. There's a few people around. It's not terribly busy right now. Pointedly, you just kind of see like one group of 5 in like one corner. They're kind of off to the side, and they're kind of far away from you right now, so it's not really easy to pick out too many details. But there are definitely you can just tell by the look. There's like plates on some things, and there's like a rifle slung over one's back, and there's like cloaks, and like they're a party of something. You can just tell by looking.
Eclectic.
Yeah. There is this area here. They take all types of orders for food and drink. We can. This is also used for general meeting hall. Should we need for it, or you can use this to conduct group meetings, or just access. There's an easy quest board over there that is just open for all, so all can find the work that they need to. There are other places over the... this is the main guild hall, so there are many links to the quest board as you go. We do also offer a inn services if you need a place to rest. For guild members, recruits like you will be probably staying in, they call it the barracks, but it is really just like a small sleeping area. There are comfortable small beds that will be provided for you this evening. So you will have a place to stay tonight. There's no charge for this. You are coming to see if you will work for us, so this is free. When we are done with this tour, food is also complimentary, as is the drink. I would recommend do not be drinking too much before exam day. It does not always go well. Sometimes it goes very well. I have to say, I was surprised once or twice. There was this gnome one time, but you know what? We're not going into this. We're not going into this right now.
Alden literally does exactly what I just did.
Just coughs a little bit.
Just coughs as he laughs.
Um,
Just coughs as he laughs a little bit.
It does sound like a story I'd love to hear.
Well, yeah, I'm sure once you get your way around here, the stories are just like, it's like college dorms. They're everywhere. You have no idea what is happening with whom. Sometimes you very much want to know. Sometimes you do not want to know at all. He actually like comes up right up to Fee and does like a full like stage whisper, like, adventurers can be very weird. Very weird. Sometimes in the fun way, sometimes not. Everyone else hears this. It's not... This is a bit of a... Why this weird zombie dude has showmanship and is working a front desk, you don't know. He's probably just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Anyways, more this way, and he leads you on through more into what just appears to be some simple hallways. Walks around. As you go by, you see a couple of big metallic doors, each of them having a sigil marked on the front of it. These, as you go around this large semicircle, I see what you do, are the class halls. So each of the 13 classes of adventurers actually has their own staging ground, their own training rooms, and in the case of some of them, workshops. Some have weapons building areas. The Fighters Hall has a small armory to go along with our normal armory. Training rooms, I do not... He kind of pulls up a little pad as if he could regard which of the classes you all have technically registered under, because that's a thing in this. And right now you're passing by one, and it shows it is just a big metal door that would open from the middle, but it has like a gear with the fire coming up from it. It's obviously the artificer's
I'm gonna
symbol.
walk towards the door.
You walk towards the door, and it just stays completely shut. As you walk up to it, you look around, there is no pad. Ah, that's the trick. It is for full guild members only. This will be available to you if you manage to pass the test. They are training halls that are renowned across the whole system. I can assure you of that. In your given professions, there are few other places where you would probably be able to train as well as with us. And as you go on, a builder very much notices the next one down the hall has this double-sided axe on it, which, curiously, that was what was on your file. Whether or not you picked that up or did that yourself, that's just on there. But, up this elevator this way are the dormitories. If you do pass your exams and you are able to secure a place with our guild, you are given lodging here for free as well. Your team, I assume we were going to have to get a team name from the lot of you at some point. We'll have
We
to
are
decide.
not a team.
Oh, I'm afraid after today you will probably be a team. Ha! 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 He laughs. There's always one like this.
Can we pick teams?
He reminds me, you know what? You probably will get along with your class trainer very well. He did not do the team thing so good at first either.
Is the class trainer similar to me?
He stops and looks at you pretty suddenly, like his jovial nature just drops. And suddenly there's just an undead thing looking at you and appraising you. He is not the same type as you. Not in body, but in here and in here. Yes. Yes, I think you might understand each other. You don't want to wait. You want to get to it. And your emotions lead the way, which is funny for one like you.
I don't know that I like you peering into my subroutines. Though, if it is part of this, I'm fine with it.
It is all about growth. And then suddenly the trance breaks and he's back to jovial again. Anyways, this way, speaking of getting into trouble, you will probably want to know where the med bay is, yes?
Making a note of that one.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, you walk down another set of corridors. That is, let me fix my audio here as we do this because we're not in the bar anymore. Go down another set of hallways, and there's one that just has the universal symbol of medicine. It's just the big red cross. Hasn't changed in D&D. It's just there. It's easiest, and everyone knows it just by looking at it. He leads you up to it, and the door actually does open a little bit as you guys stand outside. It's like, this is the AG's med bay. If after an adventure there is no time to get to, say, the cleric class hall, or there is more damage than you think you can possibly handle, this is the place that would probably be the best to rush somebody to if they need help now. It is filled with both people of magical healing talents as well as physical medical talents, and of course, for you, Builder, there are mechanics that are specializing in Warforged.
That should be sufficient. Thank you.
To be perfectly fair, the lead doctor is a little on, I would like to affectionately call him the nutty side, but he's very good at his job. And we should probably, you know where it is, we should probably move on before. And there's noise from the back of it that sounds even more jovial than Eshka here, and it just screams, "Do we have guests?" And
Oh boy.
from the back, in a full long coat, appropriately adorned with a very wide hat, starts walking up and completely mirroring Builder from a moment before. The Eshka goes, This is Dr. Frederick, and the figure walks up and tilts his hat upwards, and you have no idea what species that you are looking at because it's full plague doctor. Look. And he just walks up and like...
Fantastic.
And just like puts his hands and goes like, are these the test subjects? Oh, I'm sure I'm going to meet you all very soon.
What tests are you running, Doc?
Oh, I'm not running the test. You are going to be running the test.
We're not test subjects. We're prospective guild members.
We're always test subjects.
He leans down very close to Alton, his beak of his mask almost touching Alton's nose, and goes, exactly.
Fee rolls her shoulder and like a fresh trickle of blood comes out of her little wound. But now I'm feeling better already.
Immediately straightens up. Oh, would you like me to take a look at that?
I'm feeling better already. I am a cleric, you know. I tend my own.
Oh, it's no problem. And he immediately just
Why
slams
haven't
a hand down on the little table of random medical items, and then lifts up something that looks like a gun, and then just like without any form of asking for permission, asking for anything, just like jabs her and like pulls a trigger. And Matt, you've DM'd longer than I am. What is what's the dice for a just regular healing potion again?
I believe it's
D8.
2d4 plus 2.
1, 2.
1d. What is it? 1d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2.
Congratulations, you get 6 hit points back. Fee.
Magical. Thank you.
Oh yeah, a little bit better in no time.
Hey, Doc, I also think I could use a little bit of healing.
Oh, jealous are we, Alton? Already.
That
No,
that
just
moment where he
sure.
narrowed his eyes there for a second.
This looks like a very interesting relationship you two have.
Builder will, if anybody's paying attention, kind of take his tattered cloak and pull it over the wound that he got in the train.
Like hiding it?
Like hiding it.
Deception check. Let's see if the doc misses
Oh.
it.
Motherfucker. I need my 20 now.
Could you do me a favor, little halfling? Could you look over that way really fast, and then while you like look, he like sticks you in the neck, and you get 7 hit points back.
Yay. What
That is-
the hell?
Yeah, it's
At
better.
least-
Yeah, you're better right now. It's perfect, right? And he just like puts his hand on your head, and it's just like a full like leather glove, and he just like ruffles your hair completely again, like no propriety involved in this.
Is this just nanotech, like wound starts to close, kind of like chaos,
So-
or?
This is legitimately Dungeons and Dragons potions of healing. But instead of just chugging it down and you just receive magical healing, they're just injector guns for faster use.
Okay.
So it is pointed, it's like the magical kind of healing that you've seen probably 100 times already in your life. Not necessarily as unexpected or random as this dude is
Invasive?
doling out, but yeah, invasive is a way to put it. But there would be no charge for this time. The only charge for using my medical bay is he spreads his hand out, and Eshka's like kind of like pinching what was left of his nose because he feels like this dude is stealing his spotlight. The 2 leading men are competing right now. You've all seen what that looks like. The only price for using my medical bay and having treatments is a good story of how you got the wounds in the first place.
Does he put down the gun?
Oh, he's like, he is talking like this the whole time.
Well, if you really need a story, We were on the train to the Adventurers Guild when we were attacked by goblins. That,
See what the fuck is this on the news? Here!
Yeah.
And he jabs you in the neck again.
Stop doing that! I'm fine!
Heck. I didn't do it right. You do actually, he does actually jab you in the neck and you get more hit points. You get 10. If you're not topped off now.
Beautifully.
If you're not topped off now, he doesn't seem to care. He's just...
Trigger happy with an injector gun. Got it. Yes, we're the ones that were on the news. Yeah, the goblins attacked, stole some experimental tech, but we killed most of them. It was quite a...
He puts a hand on your shoulder and like does that weird thing where he tries to pull you closer, but you don't move because this guy's being weird. So he just winds up pulling himself closer. Goes, "Did you bring any of the goblins back with you? Like alive or perhaps dead?"
Well, I wanted to keep one goblin, but the rest of the gang didn't.
He gets right up in your ear and goes, "You should have kept the goblin. Bring me the goblin next time."
I'll keep that in mind. His name was Jim. I'll see if I can get him.
I will be eagerly awaiting this gym. Now,
You know,
and he
they
like
are
he like slams. He just completely doesn't pay attention. He like slams the gun back on the little the tray, which is on wheels, which does start to like kind of roll away and careen into another piece of equipment and bounce a little bit. I must go back to my experiments. Good luck. I'm sure I will see you soon. And does like the Batman like whoosh with his coat and just like goes back towards the back section, perhaps skipping a little.
I'm going to investigate the gun. Touch the gun.
Oh, it's right there. He just left it.
Yeah,
It is empty currently because it had all of 3 charges in it. And they've
when
been
he
expended.
notices that Haran is going for this gun, say, I believe that Eshka was showing us our way around.
He was.
Yeah, the gun.
He says. Let me close that. But you do have a quick second to just like look at it real fast as the tour group, as it were, starts to pull out. It's a pretty standard injector gun. You don't need to make a roll for it. It is.
I walk with the group.
Are you taking the gun, or are you just?
I'm not stealing the gun. I'm following the group, but I'm still investigating the gun because.
Okay.
It's
It seems to be of you're probably sure it's more like of human make than say dwarvish or anything like that. It has their signs of technology. Like most of this room gives vibes of human technology in styles, so you can pick out which brand of medical tech. You could smell dwarf tech a mile away, and you've seen everything from the weird, probably not quite legal on most world shit that come out of like the Tiefling planet, and the stuff that is almost certainly not legal out on like Aox and the undead stuff. That's weird, like Mars attack science shit. That is not what you deal with here. This seems like if this dude wasn't so crazy, this would be like a fine ass medical bay.
He's literally just walking, examining the gun, not realizing he's taking it.
Haran, put that back.
Accidental thievery.
You're walking. Don't. Occasionally, he just bumps into a wall because he's not paying attention.
Okay, as the group.
Designation Alton. I've heard that overhealing can stimulate your gastrointestinal tract. You may want to watch out for that.
So I take a few extra shites. It's no big deal.
It's Fee's turn. The heavy sigh is.
I just want to say that I love all of you. This is the best. Very well, we are going, and very much like the teacher leading the primary school tour group back around, back into the hallways, and there isn't really a whole lot more that he goes around and shows you. That you pass a few hallways that Eshka points down and goes, "We have small guest rooms for applicants. That's where you'll be staying tonight. This is the place right here. I'm going to leave you back in the tavern, but this is the place where you will be resting this night." He points at it, just the door. Further up, if you do become a guild member, you will receive a badge that will both serve as your key card in all of these rooms, and it will also serve as a distress beacon, and it will automatically upgrade as you proceed in rank to allow you into more areas of the guild, such as up this way there is an elevator that has a few extra meeting rooms and a few labs if you wish to conduct experiments. Do you still have it? You know what? I'm not even going to tell him. You can probably just keep that and just don't tell anybody. Okay?
Alden looks
What?
at Ron.
That.
What?
That.
I can have? Fantastic.
As long as I don't have to talk to Frederick again, yes, you can have it.
You don't have to. I'm not going to tell him.
I'm not going to talk to him again if I can help it. This way, please, this way.
So if I put a little gunpowder on this side, maybe I can make it a projectile.
You guys are going to do fantastic in this test, I'm sure. And further off this way, he gives another
healing. Yeah, that would work.
Down this elevator takes you underneath the lake, where we have docking bay for spaceships, should you in your adventures acquire one. There are private docks, so you do not need to have a docking fee. Or if you are a guild member, it's very nice. The starports in Crucible City are very expensive parking. It is hellish, if I could say so myself, and I know a thing or two about that. Besides this, and you start to come back around towards the tavern area. You've made a full loop at this point. That is actually all there is to show you. There are no shops beyond the form of food and beverage here, because we have an agreement with Crucible City. If the Adventurers Guild had their own shops in the guild, then adventurers would not go to any of the local shops. So we wish to help the city have more business. So,
do you recommend places to acquire certain things should they be needed?
I always have
Is there a
recommendations.
recommendation of shops that the guild uses?
I always have recommendations for my friends.
What about for not your friends and just your guildmates?
Probably not. And he does this little spin as he's going to walk away, and his undead hand absolutely ping right off of the robot ass like a good game thing, and he just keeps going. He's been walking like this the whole time.
Oh,
But
come on, there.
it will be fine. But that actually concludes our tour. Possible recruits, welcome to the Adventurers Guild Hall. When you are tired and you're done for the evening, return to your bunks in the section that I showed you, and sleep well, and in the morning you will be facing your exam.
Thank you so much for the lovely tour. I am sure that we'll be seeing you again soon.
He does one of these bits where he walks in, very lightly takes Fee's hand, gives a very dry kiss on the knuckle, and steps back, bows, and then takes his leave of the party.
She curtsies in response, this time recalling that she's not wearing a fancy dress, and just with a flourish.
Fantastic. You have been left to your own devices in a tavern. I, as a DM, realize how volatile a situation that is, but what are you doing?
I like him. Didn't you guys enjoy that? I really like him.
He was quite boisterous.
He was
Yes.
fun. The doctor, on the other hand,
Was also fun.
I liked
And-
him too.
And
A little
like,
rough. A little rough.
about as fun as sitting on a seat of nails. I like him.
You're creepy.
Builder looks overjoyed.
I'm just wondering why he smacked my shiny behind.
A good
to,
fun.
Say it.
to make you uncomfortable.
Better
Nah.
than biting it.
It was a friendly thing. Trust me. It was a friendly thing. Good game.
I've noticed that people make intentional things to make you uncomfortable or to throw you off. So
I'm not uncomfortable, I'm just
you kind of sound uncomfortable.
confused by it.
Yeah, uncomfortable. Yeah.
Have you ever heard the term "good game builder"?
No.
Hmm.
Maybe he just likes you. You should buy him a drink.
Yes.
I don't drink.
I didn't say you'd drink.
Why would I buy him a drink?
Because
I don't
friendship.
I don't. Eat.
What purpose would it serve?
It's actually great for bribery and finding out information. I particularly like to buy drinks for people in order to convince them I like them. It's very useful skill.
Is that why you tried to buy us a drink, Alton?
What,
To convince us that you liked us?
You. Designation Fiera, correct?
Correct. You may call me Fee. My friends typically do.
Just Fee.
Just Fee.
Well, just Fee. That's probably the most pragmatic thing that anyone here has said all evening. Thank you for
Stand
the
by it.
information.
It's a useful skill. Perhaps I could buy you a drink.
Again, I don't drink, but
Nothing at all?
no.
We'll
All
have to find a
right.
better way to convince you to like us.
It's not that I don't like you. I just don't know that you serve my purpose yet.
We should
What is
discuss
I
your
that.
try not to get attached.
What's your purpose?
Well, that's a big question, isn't it? What is your
That's
purpose?
one way of putting it.
What? You asked what my purpose is? I already explained my purpose to you, Fee.
I know, but our new friends have missed it. I'd love to hear it again.
Oh. Okay, so here's the thing. See, when we came into the building, when we came into the front door and the reception area, and you see all those machines and the magical fuse. See, that is my overall purpose, to make everything work better. See, when you can combine magic and technology and you put it into one pathway, it can be more efficient and more make everything work better. So if it works better, it benefits everybody. So if it benefits everybody, it's a good thing. So inefficiency is bad. So we take out all the bad parts, we put in more good parts, and then you take magic and infuse it with the technology, and then you push it towards somewhere where it wasn't intended to go, and you see where it goes, and then you can create something new and exciting. And I'm sorry.
He's an engineer.
The small pyromaniac is correct. Efficiency is more preferable.
Pyromaniac? I'm not big on fire.
You've talked about increasing the explosive power of that pack and adding gunpowder to that syringe device. I think you might be a pyromaniac.
I tend to work with electricity a lot more than fire. See, the reason why I talk about the gunpowder, because that way we can stand it. I don't have to be next to somebody to heal. So if you put a powder charge, it was just a
Do
rough
you not
thought process.
worry that it's possible that you do the damage that the healing would correct by shooting them?
Like you would have to concentrate the dose of the ignition to not do that, but if you make the needle small enough, it wouldn't create a whole lot of damage. And then you inject. You have to. It's a whole lot of automatic injection. So you when you put the powder in or the explosive charge, and then
Just
you
to
push
be
it
clear
towards-
to the audience, this is why I was worried about having an artificier in this game.
Oh God, he's talking shop.
So then you
No,
put-
because he can
and then it
probably
flies.
do this.
So
He
you
will
make
look over at Builder and say, "Isn't he fun?"
Is talkative. To answer your question from before, Small Player Maniac, I guess my main objective at this point is to get home. You could sum that up as my purpose.
Where's home?
That's a fantastic question. How about that drink, Just Fee?
Absolutely.
Okay.
She'll make her way to the bar, and offer him a seat beside her.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, big builder. I don't mean to. Sorry. And he wanders away.
Come join us, friends. Alden
So,
follows to the bar.
Alton, scoop him up if you need to. Bring him over. He can sit with us.
so you all head over to the bar, finally making it to the Adventurers Guild you've sought. One of your number has been awfully quiet this whole time, kind of lurking in the back a little bit.
What's
While
going on?
all of this hijinks has been going on, what has Yasuna been up to? While nobody was mostly paying attention to her.
Call her out. Way to go.
Avoiding
going to.
avoiding attention.
Mm-hmm.
And then once the group makes their way over to a table or the bar, she's actually going to make her way over to the dorms that were
Okay.
pointed out.
So she's basically crashing out early.
In a sense.
Okay. So we'll briefly head that way as everybody goes to the bar. The dorms that are just not the actual dorms that are just labeled on the door outside, the recruit bunks, are pretty simplistic. They're not the best looking like hotel you've ever stayed in or anything like that. It is a pretty simple. Oh, great! It's doing that thing with the dynamic lighting.
Dynamic lighting is best.
Off. There we go. Harumph. Fantastic. So you make your
I
way
see
in
it.
there.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, now. Yep.
Okay.
It's definitely a serviceable sleeping area as I blow this up a little bit to fit the stream. Is she just hanging out, reading, turning in? What is she doing?
There's nobody else in the room, is there?
This room is definitely unoccupied. It looks like there are exactly 6 beds labeled A, B, C, D throughout. Little desk off to the side, kind of looking over the city with a window.
Okay. Pretty much she's going to choose the bed furthest from the door.
Okay.
She's going to take her pretty much all of her personal belongings and pretty much stuff them around the mattress in ways where if somebody were trying to rifle through them, it would wake her up.
Gotcha. Being secure.
Yeah. And just curl up on the bed because she's traveled a long way,
Mm-hmm.
and she's just gonna
Crash out.
meditate.
Understood. Okay. It's not hard when you're away from the noise. You can vaguely hear the sounds of the tavern in the distance. falling into that meditative state is kind of like a second nature to you at this point. You've been what you are for a little bit now. And in a room this quiet, it becomes a little easier. It starts slow, kind of like it always does. Where everything is just quiet and normal and quiet and normal. At first, 2 of your 3 eyes close. 1 can't really ever. And the room seems fine and normal. It's kind of like dull yellow lighting. And you know it's starting to work when everything begins to dim a little bit. And it seems as though from under the cracks in the window and under the bed and through the door, a little bit of water starts to rise. You know this isn't real. You know this isn't actually manifesting in the real world, but it's real to you. And you know you finally hit your good, comfortable, meditative state when by the window you see one big black thing, tentacly looking thing, slide past the window. And you've probably found your nice, comfortable, meditative state. And that's probably where we're going to call it tonight, everybody. Y'all made it and didn't get arrested by the cops.
Barely.
Barely.
Somebody tried to start a fight.
Not without somebody's help.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Y'all threw Jim under the bus. He got caught by the fuzz.
I'm gonna break him out.
Our
It's fine.
giant metal friend.
It's fine. I'm gonna break Jim out. Bring him to Dr. Frederick.
Oh, Jesus. I'm not involved.
She
I'm
told
not
you
helping
where
you
the
with that.
steward's base was. You actually, if you care, you know where he was probably being held. Just saying.
No, please.
No.
That's up to you guys. It is
No.
entirely up to you guys. So on that note, this is probably where we're going to wind up ending this for tonight. But thank you, everybody who's been dropping in. We had a raid at some point from freaking Night Prophecies. I love your guys' show. Ran a vampire game for a while. I think we raided back and forth a bit. Thank you for dropping in. Everybody,
Super fun.
welcome to this weird sci-fi game that we made. I hope you're all enjoying it. So, yeah, we're probably going to raid out afterwards, but as before, because more people always come in at the end than we're at the beginning, I like to go around in a circle and let everybody talk about who they are, where they can find everybody on the socials, and let who know who's playing who if you jumped in halfway through. So we're just going to go through in probably alphabetical order if I did this right, starting with Alton. So, Harambe, who are you? Who are you playing? And where can people reach you if they choose to?
Hi, everyone. I'm Harambe, or Bruce. You'll probably hear me referred to as Harambe, mostly. Like most of the people here know me as Harambe. Anyways, I play Alton Goodbarrel, a dashing former captain of a pirate ship, gone adventurer. You can find me on Twitch at Bruce Demon Rage.
Typed it in there for you already.
Excellent. And also on Twitter at the same.
That's it. Next up, if, again, my alphabetical order is correct, Builder. Matt, talk about
Pretty
yourself.
Sure B does come after A.
You leave me alone. I'm a special boy. Who are you? Who are you playing?
Yes, I am Matt. You can find me on the Twitter at Matt of the H. I'll throw it in the chat. If anybody's interested, and I am playing once more for everyone.
One Builder, the Warforged. So, yay.
Yeah, indeed. Next up, Fee. Mizui, the one who does most of the streaming out of the group, including me at this point. Where can these fine people find you, and talk about who you're playing, please?
Yes, I'm at Mrs. Mizui here on Twitch, on all the socials that I use, which is like Twitter and TikTok and Instagram, if you count like occasionally showing up places using them. But you can find me there. And then I stream on Twitch on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and I'm aiming for Saturday nights as well. I don't know, do stuff on the internet in front of people. It seems to be fun. People like it. But I am playing Fiera, a drow cleric. She's a little bit sassy. She is a good person, and so don't let what. She's never done anything to hurt the party, unlike Alton, who tried to get us murdered.
I didn't try to get us.
Unlike
And
you.
it's really threatened terroristic threats because he's threatening to blow shit up.
Yes, and you are the one playing with the bombs.
I disarmed the bomb. I disarmed the bomb.
You know,
Yeah, not.
Experiment?
To be a bomb at a later date.
this is actually a fantastic segue here. Seamus, talk about yourself, sir.
I am Seamus. I do not have a Twitch. I do not do
My
the
shirt.
social media much, so
Oh,
you don't
good
have
shirt.
to follow me.
I didn't even realize.
Nice.
Sorry.
That was good.
So, I am playing Haran Stonechipper, a very socially.
Talkative.
No, he's not talkative.
He gets going.
Socially
What's
awkward.
the opposite of adept?
Socially awkward. Dwarven artificer.
That's fair. Next, going down the list, we have Bloodgear with Kuroda. Who are you? Where can they find you? And who are you playing? I will shout you out as we do this. You are muted, sir.
Son of a bitch. Okay.
There you go. That's better.
I'm Bloodgear. You can find me here on Twitch under Bloodgear Games. I try to play every Tuesday and Thursday. You can find my YouTube under Friendly Neighborhood Bloodgear. All Bloodgear is one word. And I'm playing the Dragonborn Samurai Kuroda. I guess he's not a samurai. He's a Ronin.
Sort of.
Let's get technical.
Technically.
Yeah. He ain't got no master.
Ain't got nobody.
Who's
So-
the master? Who's the master?
Sure enough.
The Shogun of Harlem.
Shit. And
Bad movie reference.
ooh,
Which I own. I own that movie.
good. Good. Should we all? And last but absolutely not least, wonderful wife. Who are you and what are you playing and why is she so awesome and creepy?
I'm Jen, or Tia Noir, over here on Twitch. Not one of the normal streamers. Thanks, Gisogo. No real social media. You usually just find me over here if Raytog's playing a game, playing together. And I am playing Yasana, the unusual warlock. We'll see how everything pans out with her.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say.
And that's all you guys are gonna get until next time.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Deal with it.
Deal with it. So I'm Raytog, and according to Kusogo, I don't have my shit together, which is probably accurate. That said, this is my weird D&D game that is sci-fi and fantasy all mushed up together, and it's just literally me stealing all of my favorite things and smashing them together with a hammer because that's how I make. I don't know. That's how I cook. Ask the wife. It gets weird.
He did the nerdy.
So yeah, I'm gonna try and do this as often as I can. Monday nights, and next week, yeah, somebody else is on vacation, so we're skipping another week. But then, week after week after week after week after, we got it for a while, a good long while, and this will be more regular. But I feel like we've got to the point where, well, we've established ourselves rather well.
Sad astronaut is sad.
Aw.
Okay, so yeah, that's it. So let's attempt to raid out